This tutorial is about forms. So forms are something that an admin it's very much like the plan. So I recommend seeing the plans video first. So if you want to create forms, especially form templates, then it's the same idea. You go to your admin role and you go to forms and you have the same options. If there were forms in the marketplace, you could click here, see those forms and make a copy into your admin area, and it would start out as a draft so that you could check it out and make sure you liked it before activating. Or you could create a new form. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on creating a new form, but just to show you how it works, you have different form options. So a lot of people are familiar with like SurveyMonkey, SurveyGizmo, places like that. It's the same kind of idea here. You choose the type of form that you want. You put out a form name, and then you say who can see this, coaches, leaders, and then it'll ask you different options, and you can mouse over some of this in order to get some additional help information as you go. But in essence, you go through and you add all of the various options that you want. Do you want to add instructions for the user to see? Do you want the questions numbered, yes or no, etc.? And you hit save. Basically it brings it up in the build mode or draft mode. So if you wanted to add a header to the first part, and maybe you call it section 1 and you save that, and so you have section 1. If you want to add a question, the question could be your overall satisfaction to date with my coaching. And then just like SurveyMonkey, you could say, you could make it a yes, no, a checkbox. You could make it a star rating. So I'll make it a star rating, 5-star rating, and I hit save. If I want to move questions around, I can drag and drop them from one to another, different sections. And so after I built out the survey, you hit preview and it'll pop it up, and you can see how it would be for the user to see this question. So when you're done, you go back and you would then activate it. And so this is an example of, say, a coaching experience survey. Click there and I click preview, and you could see the type of information that I could then send out. And so there's a lot of variety. So once the form is activated, then anyone else in the coaching practice, or if you're an individual coach, then what happens is as a coach, I go to my individual client management section, and under form templates, basically just like the plans, I can either go see, hey, what templates are out there that I can now use, and you can copy those, which you can see I'm already using that one, or I can create my own form. And this is helpful because if you're in a practice with several coaches, then at the admin level, these are forms that everyone can use. But if you have your own that you want to create, then you could just use those here. So it gives you the ability to copy the templates from the group level or just create your own. And just like the plans, if you then want to use them, you would then activate them, and then you can assign that form. So you can assign a specific form that's been activated to one or more of your clients. And then they would get a request or a notification saying that they have a form that's been sent to them. And they would fill it out, and when they are done filling it out, then you would see the replies. And by going to the rolled up on that, you can actually see the status of those replies. So here it shows all the people that have replied that are complete. But if I want to view all of them, maybe the ones that are not started or canceled or whatever, I can do that. And if I want, I can say, fine, I want to see it just for Charlene or just for Susan, and see all the responses. And then when I'm ready, I can click View Form Analysis, And what it'll do is it'll take in all those answers and it'll provide a summarized view. So I can basically say, hey, I just want to see, replies within this certain time frame if I want to further narrow down the replies. But basically it'll go question by question and it'll show the replies that I've received and give a nice graph as to how that breaks out depending on the question types. So this is a great way to track your customer satisfaction, or if you're working with a particular client or group of clients or a company and they want specific feedback on how the program is going, you can go and create a form that suits their needs, assign it to people, and as they provide the replies, you can then summarize that information and chart it over time using the roll-up feature. So forms are a great way to supplement your practice. Instead of sending out a bunch of Word documents or Excel spreadsheets and trying to keep up with version control, you can convert it into a form that you can easily use within the app. So at a high level, that concludes the forms. I will say that there are a lot of options and possibilities as with any of those form builder kind of apps. So you just have to play with it a little bit to understand the choices that you have. But it's fairly robust, and would love to hear your feedback with other suggestions. Thanks.